What's up, folks? Welcome to Math Walkthroughs with Mr. Weeb. Today we are dividing whole numbers by decimals in our Lesson 2 action task. Let's see what that first task is. It says, choose a whole number for each blank so that the quotient is 5 or close to 5. In case you've forgotten, quotient is the answer to a division question. Next it says, show a model or draw a picture to show why your choice makes sense. So the first one, something divided by 0.4 or 4/10 is 5 or close to 5. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking 4/10, something divided by 4/10 is 5. I'm thinking to myself, how many times does 4/10 fit into this number? Right? I don't know what this number is, but I do know that this 4/10 fits in here 5 times. So a way that I could rewrite this question is 0.4 times 5 equals something, right? How many times does this 4/10 fit into here? Well, it fits in 5 times. 4/10 times 5 will give us this number right here. Now I know that 5 times 4 is 20, but 5 times 0.4 is 2. And to show you why this makes sense on a number line, we can start our number line here at 0 and end at 2. Right in the middle will be 1, and I'm going to divide this up into tenths. So here is 0.5, and then here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is 6, 7, 8, 9 tenths. Here is 1.5, and here's 1.1, 2, 3, 4, 1.6, 7, 8, 9. Now it's all broken into tenths. And what we're doing here is we're just adding 0.4 5 times in a row. So here we're adding 0.4, and we're going to do that 5 times. Here's another 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's another 4/10, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4/10. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should take us right to 2. 0.4. Just like that. So we can say safely that 2 divided by 0.4 is 5. And that's our final answer. Next it says something divided by 1.2 is 5 or close to 5. Again, we can rewrite this because I think more clearly in multiplication rather than division. I'm going to think to myself, 1.2 fits into this number 5 times, or 1.2 times 5 will get me some number that I don't know what it is yet. Can I use mental math to figure out what that is right now? Sure I can. I can split this up into fairly simple questions, right? I can take the 1 times 5, which will get me 5. And then I can do the same with the 2/10 times 5, which will get me 1. I add those two together, 1 plus 5, and I get 6. So 1.2 times 5 should be 6. And if you know your 12 times tables, you know that 12 times 5 is 60. And if you move this decimal place over from 12 one spot less, it makes sense that instead of being 60, it would be 10 times less. So that's going to be the answer, or we think it's going to be the answer. But we do need to draw a picture to show how it makes sense. Let's see. Here is my number line. It's a little bit sloppy, but let's see if we can clean it up a little bit. Here is 0. We're going to have 6 on the right-hand side. 3 is right in the middle. Here's 1 and 2. Here's 4 and 5. Let's just write those numbers in. They're not perfectly spaced, but this is an open number line, so it's okay. We're going to now add chunks of 1.2 at a time. Hopefully it'll come out to 6. And it'll happen 5 times, okay? Let's see. First, we're adding 1.2, which brings us to 1.2. Next, we add another 1.2, which should bring us to 2.4. Almost at the halfway point there between 2 and 3. And that gets us to 2.4. Next, we add another 1.2, which will get us to 3.6, over halfway between 3 and 4. Then we add another 1.2, which will get us to 4.8, almost all the way to 5. And a final 1.2, which does get us to 6. How many times did it happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means we know that 6 divided by 1.2 is going to be 5. And that's our final answer. Next we have something divided by 0.19 is 5 or close to 5. Well, this is one that I'm going to cheat a little bit on, not really cheating, because we just need to get it close to 5. And I know that 0.19 is very close to 0.2, which is an easier number to work with. So let's do that and change it to that. Something divided by 0.2 is going to be 5. Okay? I'm going to change this into a multiplication question. How many times does 0.2 fit into this number? Well, 5 times. So that means 0.2 times 5 will give us this number. Okay, what is 0.2 times 5? Well, we just did it right up here, if you'll remember. 0.2 times 5, that's 1. Okay, so what we should get is, we should get 1 divided by 0.2 is 5. But let's see if that happens. We're going to make our number line. We're going to have 0 at this side on the left, and we're going all the way to 1, right? Because we're taking 1 and we're dividing it into 0.2. So let's mark out our tenths again. Here's 0.5. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're just going to take jumps here of 0.2 plus 0.2. We're going to add another 0.2 and another 0.2. Keep going. Okay, how many jumps did that take? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that indeed 1 divided by 0.2 is 5, and that is our final answer. Next it says, choose a decimal for each blank so that the quotient, again the answer to a division question, is close to 6. Show a model or draw a picture to show why your choice makes sense. 1 divided by something is about 6. The method I'm going to start with is guess and check. Okay, I know I'm working with decimals, so I'm going to check the decimals that I know. These are the benchmark decimals. Okay, I'm going to start, what if I go 1 divided by 0.5? What does that equal? Okay, well, 0.5 fits into 1 twice. So that's not right. Do I need to go bigger or smaller? I think I need to go smaller. So let's go 0.25 or a quarter. Okay, what if I go 1 divided by a quarter? Well, that fits 4 times into 1. Okay, so I need to go even smaller. What about 1 divided by 0.2, which we just did? Oh, that fits in 5 times into 1. Okay, we're getting real close now. What about 1 divided by 0.15, getting even smaller? That should be very, very close. Okay, let's see what happens when we go 0.15 times 6. We're hoping it gets us all the way to 1, but let's just see what happens when we put it on our number line. Okay, here's 0, here's 1 over here on the right. Let's divide it up into tenths. Here's 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's count by 15 hundredths, okay? So this is 1/10 and then halfway between, that is 0.15. Okay, and we'll add 6 of these. Okay, so here's the first one, here's the second one, plus 0.15 got us to 0.3. We're going to add another 0.15. We're going to add another 0.15. Keep going, that's 4. Here's 5. And here is 6. And it got us to 0.9, which is pretty close to 1, I'd say. So our final answer to this question is that 1 divided by 0.15 is approximately 6, and that is our final answer. Next we have 8 divided by something is about 6. Now, when we look at this question, let's change this to this. 8 divided by 2 is 4, right? In the same way, 8 divided by 4 is 2. So, if we have something that is 8 divided by something is 6, then we can also say that 8 divided by 6 is something, right? So I'm going to draw 8 divided by 6 because I think that might be easier to draw. So I'm going to draw this cartoon, not a cartoon, but this demonstration in 2 parts. So first part, let's have 8 divided by 6. So let's say here are our 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are our 8 wholes. And we have to share them amongst 6 containers. I don't care what they are. It could be people, could be whatever. But we have to share these 8 amongst these 6 containers. So what we can do is we can say, well, this container gets this hole, and this hole goes over here, this hole goes over here, and then we have 2 left over, right? So let's draw what we've got. We've got this. Here we've got 6 out of these 8 holes in these cups, right, shared evenly, and we've got these 2 left over. Okay, so how do we divide these 2 up and put the same amount in each one? Well, we can just cut these into thirds, right? And now what we can do, now that we have them in thirds, is we can put 1/3 in here, and 1/3 in there, and 1/3 in there, and this third can go over here, that third over here, and that third in there. So when we say 8 divided by 6, we can say that in each of these containers there is 1 and 1/3. Now this isn't a decimal, right? We need it in decimal form, so we should know that 1 and 1/3 is the same as 1.33 repeating. This is just a fact that 1/3, 1 over 3, is the same as 0.3333. And you can check it out on your calculator. If you go 1 divided by 3, you will get 0.3 repeating. All right, so that means that 8, and we'll put the final answer right here, 8 divided by 1.3 repeating is 6. And that's our answer there. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.